It turns out The Acolyte has been canceled.
Yay!
In an article that was released on Monday, Deadline has confirmed that the show will not be getting a season 2. And honestly, this comes as no surprise to everyone except for people on Twitter, who are apparently having this reaction to the news. However, if you take a moment to examine everything surrounding the show, I think it's pretty easy to see why Lucasfilm decided to pull the plug. From the very start, bad press reviews,
Yes.
actors saying stupid things,
I mean, the best parts about Star Wars is there is no good or evil.
and early negative reviews caused the show to have to fight an uphill battle from the very start. However, despite all of this working against it, the show actually premiered to very impressive numbers. As the Deadline article says, the series premiere generated 4.8 million views in the first day, which made it the biggest series premiere on Disney+. Eventually, the viewership rose to 11.1 million views, which earned the series a spot on the Nielsen Top 10 streaming chart. But then, this happened.
The power of one. The power of two. The power of
And apparently, the show just never recovered. As the article continues, The Acolyte could not sustain its momentum, dropping out of the top 10 in week 3. Eventually, it did manage to climb back up to the top 10 spot, but by then the damage had been done, causing the show to be the lowest viewed of all Disney Star Wars shows.
Ooh, that's bad.
It even had a lower viewership than the Book of Boba Fett, and that show had this scene in it. And apparently, by the time it was all said and done, there was a 30% drop-off from the show's premiere to the show's finale in viewership. That's not just a drop-off, that's a Thelma and Louise, Wile E. Coyote style, falling off a cliff to your death. So, why did the viewership seemingly abandon the show? Well, aside from all the noise that tends to happen around shows like this now, I think it comes down to the fact that the show didn't know what it wanted to be. It started out as a mystery thriller about a mysterious cloaked figure who's killing Jedi for an unknown reason, but that mystery was solved by the end of the first episode. So then it pivoted to the mystery of who this lightsaber-wielding, not Sith, but obviously Sith person was, but it was obvious that it was this guy from the very beginning.
Oh, hey.
Then, to make matters worse, the show failed at executing its entire premise of making the Jedi look like an oppressive force that's trying to impose its will across the galaxy by making their actions that led to the death of a coven of witches more than justified. It was like the writers wrote down ideas on note cards, and then halfway through discussing how to execute those ideas, got distracted by something else,
Squirrel!
and then completely forgot about what they were writing. All of that combined with abandoned plot points, terrible dialogue, character motivations that change on a dime, and just outright stupid characters, the show we ended up with was just laughably bad. And as of the recording of this video, things have apparently gotten even worse, because there have been several reports floating around that the Disney online store has completely scrubbed all Acolyte merchandise from its store. Now, some people are saying that this isn't true at all, while others are saying that it's happening because the merchandise is sold out and more will eventually be arriving with the holiday season around the corner. So, without any reports being confirmed, I thought we should take a look for ourselves. So as you can see, I am at the Disney store. I'm going to search for the Acolyte. Search. As you can see, no results found for the Acolyte. Now, does this confirm that the Acolyte merchandise is completely gone? No, there could be a myriad of reasons why we don't see any of the merch related to the show on the site at the moment. But while I don't want to assign a reason for it not being there without any kind of confirmation, I do think this is certainly interesting and compelling to see. So now the question on everyone's mind is, what does this mean for Lucasfilm and for Disney? Well, probably nothing. After all, the decision-making of Lucasfilm eventually falls on Kathleen Kennedy. and it's pretty obvious that she doesn't plan on going anywhere for a while. And even when she eventually does say her fond farewells, she's more than likely going to be replaced by Dave Filoni, the man who was responsible for this. And whose stock, after Mandalorian Season 2, has fallen faster with fans than his employers. So it's probably safe to say that nothing will be changing at Lucasfilm for a very long time. So, at the end of the day, as we reflect on the disaster that was the Acolyte, what can we take away from it? Well, it was certainly responsible for a long list of firsts in the Star Wars franchise. It was the first time that a Star Wars show was led by a female showrunner. It was the first time that a lead actor made a diss track to clap back at fans. And it was the first time that a character in Star Wars took a peek at another character's penis.
This is a film about space wizards intended for children.